All right, everyone. So simple video, straight to the point. This is the problem that I see a lot with all the one-on-one cornering sessions I do. People crashing all the damn time. Had a rider in the area on a road that we all know very well, Otay Lakes Road. He died. So this is a big problem that I see so much. So many people crash because of this. So the main problem is, in my experience as an instructor and riding and blah, 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 that I see is riders cannot control their mid-corner speed. So you might be asking, well, what's the big deal? Well, here's the result. Too much lean angle and not enough skill or traction to handle it. Don't know what to do. So how do you solve it? What's the solution? Learn how to damn trail brake. So that's what this video is about. So here's what's going on. So check this out, right? So this is what a lot of people do. Say this is a long straightaway, right? They're coming in, they brake. They're about to lean the bike, and they've been told, or they believe, or whatever the hell, hey, you can't brake while leaning. You need to be off the brakes before you lean. So they let go of the brake. Now right here, that rider is deciding, well, I hope this is the right speed for this corner because I'm guessing way back here. Obviously, hope is not a technique. That's terrible. Unless you're riding at a super slow pace, you probably don't even need the brakes at all. That's not what we're talking about. If you're riding a little bit quicker and you're on the brakes and off the brakes before you lean, crazy. So right here, people are off the brakes and be like, oh, I hope it's the right speed. Then they go into it, mid-corner speed, they're like, oh my God, I'm going way too damn fast. Now they believe I can't brake in the turn. Some YouTuber told me I can't, and they crashed, so I don't want to crash. I don't know what to do. Start to panic. Either they grab the front brake right here and they crash, or let's just lean more and pray I make it through this corner, which isn't a technique. You can't get better at that. And they crash. Please come, follow report. You know what the report says? Failure to negotiate a curve. Number one reason people crash. Single vehicle accidents. They jack up a corner for whatever reason, most likely going in too fast, can't control their mid-corner speed, too much lean, freak out, bam, crash. And that's the big problem, okay? That's almost always what it is. So there's that. Another way to look at it is, let's talk about, let's say you're going through here. So say this rider is going 50 miles per hour. They slow down to 30 miles per hour. In the middle of the turn is where you're going to have the slowest speed somewhere, and you'll have the most lean angle right around here. So they're going 50, they slow down to 30, and then they go back up to 50, okay? This person is off the brakes back here. They're just slowing, they brake. Oh, I hope this is the right speed. And they're just cruising along, oh my gosh, I hope I make it. And they kind of get back up to 50, okay? So at 30 miles per hour in the middle of the turn, let's say it's generating, let's say 50 degrees of lean because it's a really tight turn, whatever, okay? Now, if you actually understand to sacrifice mid-corner speed, learn how to trail brake, right? Don't worry about going fast here. You could be better on the brakes going in, better on the throttle coming out. You could be going 80 right here. And now since you're still braking, you could brake all the way till this point. 80, you're on the brakes, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30. You're slowly releasing the brake as you start to lean, slow. Now you're only going 25 in the middle of the turn. So 5 miles per hour less. That means you're not going to be leaned as much. Rider going through the turn at 30 miles per hour, the bike has to lean a certain amount. Another rider going at the slowest point is only 25 miles per hour. The bike's going to be leaned less, right? It's a simple trick. But they're going quicker in, slow the bike down. Right here, they're only going 25. So the bike will turn, get direction earlier, right? They could get on the throttle earlier. They could accelerate harder coming out. So they're going 80, 25, 80. That will be overall quicker than 50, 30, 50 without as much lean or risk. You see what I'm saying? So the rider who understands how to control your speed here, sacrifices mid-corner speed, is going to be the better, quicker rider, especially on the street. It's going to be safer as well. So here's another scenario. Let's think about this. So this is what you want to do. Here's the solution. So you're coming up on the straightaway. So let's say you begin to brake right here, or right there, or way back here. It doesn't damn matter when you start to brake. The only thing that matters is when you get off the brake. And what you don't want to do is be off the brake right before you tip in the bike and say, screw it, I hope this is the right speed. That's stupid. That's absolutely stupid. So let's say they begin braking right here because they're going, let's say you're going 80 miles per hour. They begin braking, 80, 70, 60, 50, 45, 40, 39, 38. Okay, so they say start braking right there. They're braking. As they start to lean, they slowly release the brake as they start to lean. Let's say they're off the brake completely right there. They get the bike in the right direction. They start to accelerate. Whee! This is what the braking would look like. So to begin to brake, first you just get on the brake soft. You have to allow the suspension to go down, load up that front tire. Then you can build up the pressure, right? Just like they say in champ school, load the tire before you work the tire. So you build up that pressure to however much pressure you need. Let's say this is only 30% pressure. That's okay. But as you start to lean, you slowly release the brake as you get down to the right speed and the direction your bike is going. The reason why it's not a perfect line is because when you're on the brakes, right, as you're coming in, you're looking right here at the slowest point of the turn, somewhere mid-turn. How quickly you get to that point. So if you brake too much too soon, say you get to 30%, you're like, oh, it's a little bit too much. You need to release a little bit. And now you're going a little bit too wide, so you add a little bit. So the tiny micro adjustments, putting that bike exactly where you want to be at the exact speed you want to be right here. You're not trying to guess what this speed is going to be way the hell back there. That's ridiculous. Because if you want to be off the brake right here, that means you're going to have to start braking way the hell back there. And you don't need to do that. That's stupid. People that don't know how to trail brake, they always brake way too damn soon. They brake really hard because they don't know what the speed is going to be. So they brake super hard, loading the suspension and tire up, which is good. But then the bad thing is they let go of the brake, pop open the suspension, unload the front tire, and be like, I hope this is right, and just lean the bike. Too much speed right there, freak out right here, crash right here. Happens all the damn time. So you're on the brake, right? And you're adjusting brake pressure as you start to lean the bike into the turn. You're adjusting your brake pressure to put the bike where you want it at the right speed you want. And let's say, you know what? Let's say you mess it up. You go too quickly in. Well, just because you generally want to be off the brake around mid-turn or even before, it doesn't mean you have to be. Let's say I'm going 100 miles per hour. 100, 90, 80, 70, 60. So on the brakes, 50, 40. This is my speed. I'm releasing the brake as I'm leaning. 50, 40, 30, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. You could be right here still on the brake. That's way better than giving up on the brakes right there, letting go and say, right? Don't give up on the brakes. Just keep braking. Even if you have to keep on braking all the way through the damn turn, that is better than going onto oncoming traffic or flying off a cliff. Don't give up on the brakes. Just keep damn slowing down, okay? And the better you get with the front brake and the more you realize how much you could actually slow, then the better you'll be braking, determining, okay, how much pressure do I initially need? How much do I need to trail off? Blah, 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 blah. Your eyes, all this stuff is all connected. But being able to control this speed right here, this is the main thing. So let's take another example, right? Let's say a rider's going 70 miles per hour, 60 miles per hour, 70 miles per hour. Okay, so they're going 60 miles per hour in the middle of the turn. Let's say they're leaning 50 degrees to make it for this turn. I'm behind the rider. They go through the corner first. I'm coming up behind them. I'm going 80. I slow down to 45. I go back up to 80. They're going 15 mile per hour more in the middle of the turn than me. That means they're going to have way more lean angle than me. But I want to be quicker in, I want to be quicker out. I'll be overall quicker, but I'll have less max lean, less time spent on the edge of the tire, less risks. The more you're leaned, right, the suspension works less and less and less the more you're leaned over. And you tell me, would you rather have to brake because a deer jumped out in front of you in the middle of the turn, going that fast with that much lean angle, or 15 miles per hour slower in the middle of the turn? It's obvious. Stop trying to corner fast right here. The fast riders, especially on big, powerful bikes, go slow here. Sacrifice mid-corner speed. I don't care how fast you go into it. If you know how to trail brake, I don't care how fast you come out of it. Stop trying to corner fast here. But you know what the big problem is? Somebody's sitting right here with the camera and you're trying to get your elbow down or some craziness on the street. That's ridiculous, right? So learn how to trail brake and slow down here. Slow the freak down. Slow down, mid-corner speed. And you can accelerate as hard as you want to out. So let's go over a couple myths. These are some myths. Never brake in a turn. Trail braking is track only. Only trail brake with the rear brake only. And front brake in a turn, you use it, you touch it, front brake whatsoever, you're going to crash. All these are myths. Not true whatsoever. People who say these things are complete morons. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't have the experience. They made a mistake. Maybe someone says, I touched the brake in a turn, therefore I crashed, therefore don't do it. That rider should say, I grabbed the brake in a turn. That is why I crashed. But they didn't say that. They just say, I just touched the brake, just a tad bit. I touched it and that's why I crashed. Because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Now that person happens to have a big social media following and a lot of people believe them, but they're believing the wrong thing. That's not true. You can use the brake whenever the hell you want to, just don't grab it, right? So what the truth is, you can brake anywhere you want to. You could go into a turn, not on the brakes whatsoever. You could be in the middle of a turn, roll off the throttle, and go to front brake only and start to squeeze that front brake. You'll be fine. As long as you don't grab the damn brake, you're going to be fine. Trail braking is for track only. Well, here's something simple that most people don't realize, I guess. The bike doesn't know where it is. It doesn't know if it's on a track or in a parking lot, on the street, wherever the hell you are. It just knows the inputs you're putting into it, right? The bike doesn't know where it is. Techniques work because techniques work. Next, only trail brake with the rear brake? Okay, well, it's mostly front brake. Whenever you're trail braking, it's mostly front brake. You can trail brake with the rear, but it's going to be pretty irrelevant because if you're riding at a slow enough pace where you're using rear brake only, you're not even going quick enough to even use the front brake. So to trail brake with the rear, it doesn't really make sense. It's not the right tool for the right pace that you're going. So whenever I'm talking about trail brake ever in any one of my 600 plus videos on YouTube, I'm talking about the damn front brake. No rear brake whatsoever. Also, people say, myth, front brake in a turn, you touch the brake, you crash. No. If you squeeze and unsqueeze the brake, you don't do anything fast, you'll likely be okay. Now, that depends on what? Obviously, the skill of the rider. If you're a really crappy rider and don't know any of this stuff and like, oh, all I got to do is squeeze the brake in the middle of a turn, I'll be good, and you go off and ride tomorrow and you crash, well, you're an idiot. You don't know what the hell you're doing. So obviously, but saying you cannot do any of this stuff, any one of these 4 things you ever hear anybody say, just put them in the white belt category. They don't know what they're talking about. Okay, I don't care if a teacher taught you that. I don't care if your beginner course taught you this stuff. There's way more to learn, and just understand these are all myths. And unfortunately, people believe this crap. Big problem, okay? So here's Mythbusters with MotoJitsu. You can brake anywhere you want to, just don't grab it. The bike doesn't know where it is. There's no such thing as track-only techniques. If you think there is a track-only technique, like only something you ever do on the track, please email me and let me know what that technique is. I challenged someone to do this before. Guess what? No one ever emailed me because there's no such thing. And trail brake is rear brake only? Nope, it's mostly with the front. And front brake, you touch the front brake in a turn, you're gonna crash? Nope, as long as you squeeze and unsqueeze, you'll likely be good depending on how good you are. And this is what I'm talking about. So the pace, more specifically, the speed you're going and the lean angle you're creating, that determines what you need to be doing, okay? So if you're way down here going super slow in parking lot, under 15 miles per hour in the parking lot, like doing my MotoJitsu drills, go to my website to get my app and my books, there's certain things you're gonna be doing right here you simply don't do on the street. For example, counterbalancing, slipping the clutch, riding the rear brake. You do that stuff for low speed. You don't do that on the street. You'll melt your clutch, add more lingo than necessary, you're probably gonna crash. So the tools you do down here are not the same tools as you go quicker. You have to do different things as the pace increases, okay? What I do on the track, I don't do on the street because it's not the track. You see what I'm saying? So there's a time and place for everything, and where you are on this pace scale, that determines what you need to do. So if you're riding around down here very easy on the street, you probably don't have to use the brakes at all. Body position is irrelevant, line selection is irrelevant, a lot of things are irrelevant. Pretty easy to ride 50 years at this pace. I've been riding 50 years, bro. I'm an amazing rider. Yeah, it's not hard to ride at this pace. Like anybody can do that, right? So if you go up a little bit quicker, well, now you need to do a little bit different things. So maybe at the medium pace, you might want to start trail braking because you don't want to load and unload the suspension because you're riding right here. Maybe you're going a little bit faster. Well, maybe some body position becomes relevant. Now you're at the track. Well, everything becomes relevant. But what you're going to be doing at the track is not what we're going to be doing down here at an easy pace, obviously. So when people tell me, oh, I've been riding 100 years, whatever, right? I never trail brake. Okay, well, you're probably riding down here. I wouldn't trail brake either if I'm following you. You're riding at a very easy pace. And guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. You want to ride at that pace the whole damn life? Go for it. Just understand, if you think you could just decide, this is all your skill and this is where you ride. If you think you could just decide to ride faster with the same easy tools that you know how to do and that's it, you're going to crash. Now, if you're a really good rider and you can ride really quickly up here, well, then you could determine the speed at what you want to ride. You could go down here and follow a new rider and give them a lot of feedback and tips. You could ride quick if you want to. You could ride medium pace. You could do anything you want to do because your skill and technique is way up here. If you're right here, you better stick to this pace. But this is how people crash. Here's their skill and experience. They try to keep up with riders up here. Big problem. So learn to control your mid-corner speed like your life depended on it, because it does.